All right, guys, how you doing? Hopefully, you guys are here for the long haul on our long journey into reviewing and recapping the new Alien Earth series as it premieres. So the show is premiering Tuesdays, and if you guys are watching it on Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever, well, I guess it's gonna be Disney Plus for everybody because Hulu is officially going away.
Yeah, yeah.
Regardless, I don't even know, is it actually premiering on FX? It's an FX show, so it has to be on FX.
I have no idea. I don't have cable, so
And well, I don't know. I think most people don't. But
yeah.
on Disney, it is going live to watch. I believe it is it's 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
So our goal is to be on here after every single showing, probably like this, maybe within the hour or an hour later. Give everybody. But the thing is this week they started with 2 episodes. That's kind of been the trend lately. It's almost like they're extending an olive branch to all the people that got so used to the Netflix model of giving you everything up front. And now the cable companies are all like, no, we're taking it back. We're turning it into cable, you motherfuckers. But you know what?
I don't mind it.
We'll give you 2 episodes. Well, what I don't like is everything goes up so much, dude. Paramount and Peacock. I just got to notice from Peacock. Peacock's going up $3 next month. $3 fucking dollars. But
Paramount's going up because they just bought UFC, so all the pay-per-views, UFC pay-per-views will be on Paramount.
When Netflix joined up with WWE, remember when that happened?
Yeah.
Dude, they fucking jumped. They did like their 3rd price hike that year. So if you were to really tally it up and you have enough of these, you're paying more than cable. And in my household, my mom lives here and she loves those streamers. Not that she probably couldn't live because she watches the free ones, dude, more than
I do too.
The paid ones, but it's just all so expensive. And but anyway, if you're watching on streamers, it goes up 8 p.m. Central Eastern time every week. And but starting next week, it's just going to be 1 episode. So we'll try and go live within the hour or an hour later. But hopefully, by the time this is done, I think the goal is to set up next week's stream.
Yep.
So you guys can already join that one by the time this one's over. And that's what we want you to do. But anyway, hopefully you guys here have watched it. If not, I have a feeling since it's so new, like it literally just got done airing for a lot of people, we're going to get more people in the after show. Like,
I'm sure.
So, but yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. I wasn't planning to do the stream because of the baby. I just had the baby Saturday, and on a whim, I happened to watch the show when it was airing. We got home in time, like, hey, it works out. I'm going to watch it. Maybe I'll join the chat or something. And then it just worked out that I could join. So I can't. What are the first 2 episodes called? What's the first?
So the first episode is called Neverland.
Okay, let me set it up if you don't mind. So Neverland is it's a traditional first episode. It's setting up things up pretty nicely. We start off with what kind of looks like the Nostromo, right? We kind of have 2 stories going on here. So we have a spaceship that's like a Nostromo, and they have a nice throwback shot of them around the round table, all eating and discussing, their mission, why they're up there. And they're talking about the same old stuff that we're used to with the series, gathering specimens. And then we're getting little flashbacks while they're talking, just to kind of show us what they've dealt with and how they've acquired these specimens. So we know what's up. And essentially, it's just an alien movie. Yeah. Aliens doing what aliens doing.
It's a tiny ship, and they're coming out of cryo.
Yeah, exactly. It's that whole thing. It's just, if you've seen Alien, you know what they've been up to. And then we kind of go back to Earth, and the main plot is we have 3 tech species. I don't know if you call them species or not. Obviously, they're still humans, but then we have cyborgs.
Yep.
We have synthetics, which synthetics is what David is, what Rook is, what Bishop is,
what Prodigy Corporation has come up with.
Correct. And now we have the synthetics. I don't remember what they were calling them, but it's basically a synthetic with a human brain and mind and memories, kind of like Blade Runner. Except, that Blade Runner, they implanted fake memories into these, but it kind of reminds me of that.
Synthetic bodies infused with human consciousness.
Yeah, so that's like the 3rd one. And yeah, it's almost like a race to the moon type of thing, because they're talking about a race to the tech dominance. And it's important to also note where Alien Earth fits in the timeline. But Alien Earth takes place 2 years before Alien.
Yep.
right? So it kind of gives you an idea where Weyland-Yutani is, because the spaceship they first opened the show with is a Weyland-Yutani vessel, right? They're kind of the OGs. And the people that we're talking about with these human slash synthetics, it's a whole new company with head up by this kid they keep calling they call him the brainchild, or like the boy
The
genius.
boy genius, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy yeah, Boy Cavalier, I think is his name. We kind of need to talk about all the corporations as well. So, of course, we
Mhm.
have the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, which they control North and South America, Mars, Saturn. We have Dynamic, controls the moon. We have Threshold, Mysterious Corporation, equal to Dynamic, and then there's Lynch. So it's pretty much the same with that. Lynch controls regions of the Earth and space. Prodigy, new corp founded by the boy genius. So that's the new kid on the block, the Prodigy, doing the synthetic human hybrids and all that stuff.
And it's all top secret. Like, it's just in
Mhm.
its early stages. And after we get sort of that like not Nostromo scene set up, we then shift to our main character, and I think her name at this point, it's a girl. She's obviously got cancer, her head shaved, she's dying. It's kind of clear. I think it's actually kind of cool the way they were telling the story, because my brain is putting it together. It doesn't have to spoon feed me. It doesn't have to talk too much at this point, but we know because they give you that little prologue and talking about the three different, different tech, and then they show a girl and they're talking about, hey, you're going to be like the first of many or whatever, and like, yeah, okay,
Marcy, and then she goes to Wendy. Yeah, she turns
yeah.
into the hybrid.
And they're calling it the Lost Boy program. They're taking
Mhm.
nothing but these dying kids. And yeah, she enters the vessel. At first I saw it, I'm like, why couldn't they just create this? Is at first nothing's been
Mhm.
unraveled yet, but I'm like, why? Because you don't know what's going on yet. It's like, are they doing this for just the greater of the kids to save the lives? Why would they build a synthetic that looks like her? But as you kind of like learn a little bit more about the boy genius, he's putting him in adult bodies, and I still don't quite understand why he's putting them in adult bodies. All they said was, well, if they're kids, they need the brains of kids. An adult mind won't make the trip. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, he wants the body of an adult, so I'm guessing if they get in trouble or they have to defend themselves. But I mean, they're still like, superpowers and
But
everything.
there's a reason why they're kids, though. He made it specifically
So
like
yeah, so he can train them, and he says that they
moldable.
retain moldable. Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Yeah, because he was saying, they turn her into Wendy. It's Project Lost Boys, and it's funny. You could see where that Disney partnership comes in. That Disney
Mhm.
owns everything because they're showing the footage of Peter Pan, and they own Fox now, and they can show footage of Ice Age and all that stuff,
Mhm.
which is fine. I mean, that's just how. If anything, it makes it more realistic because that stuff really exists. But yeah,
So we jump back into the scene with the Utani ship, and um, the some aliens end up escaping, and then you have Morrow, the cyborg that is pretty much trapped in there, and he has to find a way to save himself, trap himself in a room, and then crash into Earth, which where they were supposed to be going was Earth, but
yeah, because it's again, what's going on up in space, and that subplot is just Alien. It's an
Mhm.
alien movie because he's the guy working for Weyland-Yutani. Someone's trying to come in there, help me, help me, help me. And he's got, like, first of all, it's a little confusing because what is cyborg tech? Did synthetics? I'm guessing synthetics completely took over cyborgs because in Alien, Ash
Yeah,
he was a synthetic.
yeah.
But this guy, it's 2 years before, he's a cyborg. He's got like T1000 powers, TX powers. So I don't really know what the difference is yet. Maybe we'll kind of learn. Like, maybe he's getting phased out. I don't know. But he's clearly part of Weyland-Yutani, and he's doing the same old shit where his job was to serve the company,
Yep.
bring back the fucking species. It's probably the same thing where they were going to look for whatever, whether it be cargo or whatever, and then they are really going to just navigate a planet that was found and bring back these species. And he sold them all down the river to get the alien back. And so all that's very recognizable. And I actually like how they don't. The quick flash is great. I'm like, great.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
We're not stupid. If you're watching Alien Earth, you've seen an Alien movie, and we don't need all that recap. We know that Weyland-Yutani's pretty much going to do what Weyland-Yutani does. And yeah,
Real quick,
but
let's talk about the production of this show. I mean, this looks beautiful, man.
yeah,
I couldn't believe how much money they're pumping into this thing because it's, I mean, like I was saying earlier, I mean, Dolby Vision, I mean, just the cinematography is amazing, and I mean, of course, you see some CGI in there, but it's not bad.
it's not
Um,
egregious. It's not
no,
because they
no,
you see it in some of the new species they're showing, like that little
hmm
centipede thing, and
yeah,
you know, things like that. Uh,
very passable in my opinion.
yeah, and the gore is great, which we'll kind of get into. I like how this isn't going to be all about the xenomorph. Clearly, I guess
hmm
it's more about the world building, and there's going to be like the politics and stuff like that with the different companies. And
Yeah.
uh, what is your opinion? It creates for an interesting story dynamic to make all of these uh I can't them kids because they act like
hmm
kids,
hmm
right? So basically the ship crashes to Earth, and then
Yes.
we have these frontline medics and stuff like that, the military, whatever they are, to go and inspect it. One of these guys that's working for whatever their military is, he's a medic, is the brother of Wendy. Wendy is retaining, she's proving to be still very human.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it almost seems like a bait and switch because the way they're selling it to Wendy and the way they get Wendy to sell it to the other kids to legitimize it is, oh, it's the best of both worlds. You'll have a body that won't die, whatever. It's like you'll be all better. But even after she's in this thing, you have Timothy Oliphant and you have the boy genius and you have all these
Mhm.
people basically like, you're not human. It's like they're bait and switching it. Like clearly they have ulterior motives as well, right? To bring them in, but she's retaining it. She's very, very human, and she's got abilities that the other ones don't have, and she seems a little more mature than the other ones. So she's trying to save her brother because she's like hacking into the systems and hacking
Mhm.
into all this stuff, things that they didn't program her to do or things that she couldn't do. They keep referring to her as being special. Now, I don't know if they were seeking out specially gifted kids that were dying or what, or if they were just telling every kid they're fucking special to get them in the program. I don't know, but she clearly is special.
Well, boy genius, and they're doing it just for. I mean, they want to play God, A, and then
Mhm.
B for money. I mean,
Well,
they're tech geniuses, and that's basically all they want.
according to Boy Genius, it ain't just about the money. I want to have somebody to talk to,
Yeah,
somebody
I'm
that's as
sure.
smart as me or smarter than me. So yeah, he's definitely a God player, and
Yeah,
he's fucking. You can tell he's a weasel. They're all going to be, and there's going to be some allegory, some metaphorical bullshit about big tech, big corporations in here. Uh,
Elon, all that stuff.
all of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
And,
yeah,
and,
yeah,
and but the Alien series has always been about that.
yeah.
It's always been about the
Which
big company.
and that sort of thing, like just letting them be medics or go in and help out the medic, letting basically just letting them be cannon fodder. He's like, okay, let's see what they can do because we can create more of these anyway,
Mhm.
so we know it's proven, so he kind of just wants to see what they can do, which I'm fine with. I mean, it's not terrible. But yeah, I don't know, it's I mean, what did you think of that? I mean,
Okay, so on one hand, it's a little weird to have these people. It is just weird to watch these grown people talk like kids,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's always kind of odd because I don't know how well adults ever play kids. Like it doesn't really always translate. And I'm not saying they're doing a bad job. I just think it's always kind of hard to portray being super realistic. Maybe just by the nature of you're looking at a grown man talk like a
yeah.
kid, and our brains can't put it together. But it creates for interesting story opportunities.
Mhm.
And like for example, I kind of figured there'd be some big buildup or it would be a key plot thing that she was hiding her identity from her brother. And we were going to save that big reveal until later on in the show. But no, we wrote these fuckers as kids and kids can't keep secrets. So he just straight up tells them, like, hey, that's your sister. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting way to do it, I guess,
One thing I do like, I think this show is going to be pretty solid because I like the fact that there's so many corporations and there's so many backstories we don't even know about a lot of these corporations. And I mean, they can drag this on for a while. It's not like they have to cram everything in one season, which I like.
Well, so technically it's 2 years before Alien, but what gives us that leeway is, we never really knew what was going on Earth
Yeah,
during the
yeah,
Alien series.
mhm,
And so now it might be easy to assume, oh, what happens at the end of the series? Does Wayland Yutani come out triumphant? Because Wayland Yutani we know exists hundreds of years in the future.
Yeah.
But then again, like we're never on Earth. Maybe these other companies still exist, and they, Wayland Yutani has just always been the focus. But that is something to think about. Like, is Wayland Yutani going to win this race? Because even in Alien Resurrection, which is technically the end of the canonical line, it's Wayland Yutani.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that they're going to be the triumphant one. And we only got a small glimpse into whoever's running Wayland Yutani, that one woman.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure we'll get more of that. And
that stuff's the stuff that interests me the most. I mean,
well, it's why I really like the Blade Runner sequel too, is we got to open up more of that stuff too. But yeah, so I think we can assume that Wayland Yutani is going to be the winner. Maybe it's possible these other companies exist in some degree, but I will say 2 years, where does it go from here? In 2 years, Alien happens, but then Ripley goes to bed for 57 years. So technically, there's going to be about 59 good years of we don't know what the fuck is going on. So when Ripley goes back to Earth and Aliens, that's the only time you really see Earth.
Yeah.
Right. And you kind of forget about that, but no, she's on Earth when she's waking up. She's in the hospital. She learns that her daughter's dead and Jonesy's still alive. And she's talking to Paul Reiser's fucking sleazy ass. How long have I been out? 57 years. Right. And then that's when they convince her to go back up into, the Colonial Marines and all that stuff.
We didn't even talk about the ship Magonaut, the one that actually crashed in a Prodigy region. So Yutani can't even go into that region by law, I believe. So
there's some politics going on. So she calls. They have whoever the Wayland Yutani president, whoever that is, that woman. I don't know if they're all supposed to be of the Yutani line. They I think it's kind of insinuated because Lance Henriksen has played the head of Yutani, and he was of the lineage, and then obviously Guy Pearce played him in the Prometheus. So I'm going to assume this woman is also a Yutani or whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway, and she's having a call with the boy genius because of those politics. And she's basically saying, he's like, yeah, he's interested. What's on that ship? And, she's like, hey, it's proprietary, means hands off or whatever. They're trying to barter some kind of deal. Clearly nobody wants the other in there. And but yeah, boy genius sends his little fucking Peter Pan kids in there. And that's where it gets interesting. And we kind of, episode 1 and 2 kind of go together. I mean, because when he sends them in, then it's like we get into episode 2, and that one's kind of the action. And I like, it takes a minute, but once we get in that ship, in that vessel, it still feels like an alien movie, even though we're on Earth. It's just a crashed ship. But what I dig is, I don't think there's really any movies that have presented the fucking perfect specimen being so vicious that they've done in this.
Yeah.
Because, remember, case in point, you see it on the ship. And when they're in that first ship or whatever, you get it's implied. But when that fucking alien is hiding behind that statue in front of that powder wig party,
that was awesome. Yeah.
And how fast it goes in there, and you just hear the screaming, and right away it's like the Wendy's brother goes in there, and the people never even had a chance to leave the table.
No,
because they're all still sitting at the dining room table. All their throats are slit or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. That shows you how fucking fast it is. And then you have the main powder wig guy, just like he's like cutting two, dude. He's like crawling. I loved it. I'm like, this is Alien.
And the xenomorphs look awesome, dude.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I couldn't believe how good they looked.
And there's some minimal CGI, but they're keeping it dark, and it's working really well. But yeah, I love it because it was doing the classic shit on the ship at the beginning where it was hiding in the wires. It was hiding in the wires when it came down on Wendy's brother and attacked him. And I like the whole scene where he's like in the elevator or whatever, and it's beating into it. And then when it was hiding, even my wife, because I've conditioned her to watch all these alien movies and she likes them. They set up the shot. If you're an Alien fan, when they're right in front of that powder wig, when they're trying to like alert them, hey, you got to evacuate or whatever. We see that like fine art, modern art statue behind them, and we know it's coming. And she's even like, look, it's going to be there. And that's an awesome scene. That that's the best scene of the whole 2 episodes. And then he goes in there and tears ass of all those fucking John Adams motherfuckers, and it's awesome.
So what? See, I don't know about this. Morrow used some sort of like I don't know. He sprayed the xenomorph with something to like I don't know trap him.
Cellophane it, it's
Like
freeze it,
what is
cellophane it.
that? I've never seen that before.
It's tech we've never seen on the series.
Okay,
It's just
I
it's
thought it
all
was
new.
interesting. Okay,
But it's cool though because he's still very much I'm working for the company,
yeah.
and he's selling out everybody. He was still on the ship when the military, the authorities were coming in, and he held them at gunpoint and tied 2 of them right to a couple of posts, and that's where he had like a little bit of exposure to some of these new specimens that we haven't seen before. Right, that was fucking go in their neck, and they're like big ticks.
Yeah, the ticks or the leeches. Yeah.
Really fucked up. We saw that thing in the cat's eye that crawled out of the cat's eye. That was like straight out of some
cool.
That was Resident Evil shit.
Yeah,
that was a little CGI, but
it didn't look terrible. But yeah,
but it was Resident Evil. That's like Los Plagas and Resident Evil 4 stuff, which I really dug. And there's like that big flower fauna thing. I'm into all that shit because I'm one of these guys that really likes. I don't mind a lot of people got pissed off when they still were still going with the Prometheus lore with Romulus, and I'm like, I'm here for it.
It's like we just don't want face huggers and xenomorphs. We want everything. I mean, come on.
Well, I mean,
want to see it.
Oh, there would be more life. There would be more life. It wouldn't just stop and end with the xenomorphs. And but anyway, that's my biggest takeaway. Is my favorite thing is this show is really showing that the alien is living up to its name, as they keep talking about. It's the perfect specimen, the perfect organism. It doesn't need air. It can live in fucking space. They picked it up in Romulus, and it was floating around for 20 years, and it was still alive. It doesn't need oxygen. It clearly doesn't need to eat, because the aliens never eat. You never see them eat. They do nothing but kill their victims, and they cocoon them so the facehuggers can breed and have vessels. We don't ever see what they eat, so I think we can assume they don't need to eat. They don't need to breathe. They don't need to eat. They can survive through almost anything. They got armored bodies where they're almost indestructible, and they got acid blood, so the ultimate defense mechanism. I know the series as a whole has gotten out of control, and it's gone on a long time, and they keep beating a dead horse. But I love the xenomorphs, dude. I think there's just such an awesome creation, everything about them, and yeah.
What did you think of I don't know. I kind of like the ending quotes of these shows, dude. Of course, you did guard the omelet, that sort of thing.
Well,
just like jokes or Wendy or whatever, and then of course they play Stink Fist by Tool.
No, that's they're gonna play. They play Mob Rules at the end of the first
Rules,
episode.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, that's a little weird to me. It doesn't.
I didn't mind it. I didn't care.
I like those songs.
Yeah.
When I first heard the fucking Mob Rules going to the credits, I'm like, holy shit! I started popping my head and singing. But it's a little weird. It's a little because the whole show, the score is very cinematic. It's almost like you're watching a movie, and it's like, wow, it's this. So if they were playing high octane rock music when the alien was chasing people, it wouldn't be as jarring when Mob Rules comes on at the credits. But it also would be bullshit. Nobody wants to see fucking heavy metal in the score. But it just, I mean, it's cool. It doesn't bother me, but it's kind of weird. It's a little jarring.
Weird, but it gives me something to look forward to at the end too.
And I recognized it.
Oh yeah.
But when the down, I knew what it was when it was starting to fade into it. Like that's fucking stink. And then it came in there. So that's kind of an odd choice. I don't know. I might have missed the quotes you're talking about because. There were moments I had to like look at the kid,
Well, I know there was the one in the second Mr. October where when he's just like her brother pretty much a xenomorph takes him off of one of the ships, and they go down into some sort of like I don't know where do they fall down into the ship.
It's wherever they find the eggs, right?
Yeah.
It's like in the center where they're incubating all the eggs and stuff, and which.
And then her closing line to the other guy was guard the omelet because she was standing next to all the eggs or whatever.
The eggs, yeah. No, it's cool. And that was the cliffhanger, right? That was the end. Because it's like up until this point, we just have the one alien. It's a cool concept, and it's kind of Yeah, I mean, I think it's been teased for a long time. It's like, why are we never on Earth? I'm not, dude. AVP Requiem doesn't count technically. I think the Alien and Predators are on Earth and that, but yeah, it's nuts. Is it going to turn into just? Is it going to be a giant fucking cockroach infestation? Clearly they get it under control because, like I said, Alien is in 2 years, and they're still very much interested in these organisms 57 years after Alien comes out because they want Ripley to go back in there. There's because after this in the timeline, they're still trying to bring company people up there to bring shit back. So clearly they stopped the outbreak in this series. So it's interesting to see how we're going to get there.
What did you think of the main actress, Wendy? I think she's pretty good.
Yeah, she's totally fine. She's got a weird fucking haircut. She looks like something out of Blade Runner, like her hair and everything else.
You know what? I hate Timothy Elephant, but he reminds me of God. Who does he? John Bon Jovi.
Oh yeah, no, the eyebrows,
he
weird
looks
eyebrows.
exactly like him, dude.
And he's clearly a classic synthetic.
Yeah,
but he's he's very company. He seems very smart. He's like the. You know what it reminded me of? I don't want to say it, but he's like the Samuel Jackson in Django. He's the house. He's like the house synthetic.
Oh yeah.
He seems very high rank, and he's very he's like the right hand of but he's the right
boy
hand
genius,
of boy genius. So he's an interesting character.
Morrow's I think is pretty good as the cyborg. I think he's solid. But he's an interesting type of character.
One thing I wish they would have done differently is it caused a little bit of confusion early in the first episode because Morrow looks an awful lot like the other black guy they put a kid into.
Oh, from Romulus?
No,
okay.
In the show.
Yeah, okay.
Because they both have the same hair, the same goatee, and they're both kind of
Smee, I think his name is.
Oh, do they all have I was wondering that. Do they all have Peter Pan names?
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, they looked a little similar, even down to like their weight and their faces. And it was a little confusing at first because when they cut back to Morrow, I'm like, oh, like, because at first I was confused. Like, is that the same guy that was one of the Smee? And then I was like, wait a second, are they sending out each one of these Lost Boys into it was a little confusing for a second. Then I'm like, oh, okay, they're different. So maybe that was kind of an interesting choice because usually you don't want to put two people that look a lot alike. No, but I like
Poodles. You have Slightly.
I figured there was. I just didn't catch any of the other names, but I figured they were probably going to go with that theme all the way. Michael, there's already Lost Boys. They already exist.
So overall, though, I mean, what did you think of this show so far? I mean, first 2 episodes at least. I mean, are you on board? Or?
Yeah, no, I'm hyped. Like I said, I'm already a mark because I love Alien. Even the bad aliens, I still kind of give a little bit of a pass to aliens, no matter what. Unless we're talking about AVP and AVP Requiem, I don't care for those. But so I'm all in it, and I'm going to sort of echo my statements that I had with Romulus. Some people didn't like Romulus, and this is kind of under the same Romulus umbrella. We're now in the Disney era where they own everything. We just have to deal with it. But just like Romulus, they're not skimping on the violence. We had a powder wig guy walking away or crawling away by his hands, severed in half and stuff. And
he had a zombie cat with his eye popping out.
If anything, this is the most vicious we've ever been able to portray the alien before. So it's cool. And yeah, I'm here for it. So I accept that there's a bigger universe. They're going to keep expanding on it. It's fine. They already expanded to death on it with Prometheus. So it's like the cat's already out of the bag. The best way it ever was is the first Alien, where we don't know anything. We see the space jockey in the first movie, and we're asking questions like, what is that thing? What's that fossilized? Why is it so fucking big? Because in the first movie, it's like huge. And I love all that mystique. But they've already cracked open those eggs. We've already expanded the lore. Yeah, what's a little bit more to flesh out the timeline? It's fine. And if you don't like it, you're always going to have the original Alien. It is what it is.
I had zero expectations going into this show, and I was very surprised with it, and especially how good the xenomorphs looked. I thought they looked awesome.
I knew that from the trailers when I saw all the teasers. I'm like, oh, this looks
I
legit.
didn't get any spoiler, any of that stuff. So I didn't know anything going into this. So I'm on board, man. And Timothy Elephant is not gonna, as much as I don't like him, he doesn't bother me in this.
It's not going to put you. He's not going to be enough to put you off.
No.
Is this a billing as a limited run series? Like it's gonna be, there's gonna be an end, because it is 2 years for Alien, or are they gonna drag it out like a series? And if it does well, it's gonna have a new season. I don't know if they're marketing as limited run or what.
I hope that they can make it long, because like I said, I want to learn a lot more about these corporations, and there's so much shit they can do with it, I think.
Well, I think naturally it's going to seg into, it's gotta like have some kind of seg into Alien.
Yeah.
It's gotta. Well, no. Actually, no, because it gets really convoluted because, oh, you know what? No. Because Ripley's already up in space and in sleep.
Yeah.
They're probably already sleeping. Because
Yeah.
Alien is 2 years later. So they're probably already sleeping in cryo. And yeah, I mean, what's his name? Morrow?
Yeah, Morrow.
Whatever ship that is, I don't have the name.
A ship is Maggonaut.
So they're probably one of, we don't know how long they've been up there.
Yeah.
But we could assume maybe they're also just one of, they're just like Nostromo. Maybe they sent up that one at the same time. We don't know.
They were up there for like what, 16 years, right?
Did they specify that?
I think so. I can look it up real quick.
I missed a couple little things because I had a kid right next to me and I was good. But okay, so yeah. So clearly they sent up, so that thing predates the Nostromo, but clearly Weyland-Yutani is on it. They sent up this one. Obviously they failed, but they had a backup. They got Nostromo with the same plan to bring back
65 years.
Now, what?
The mission began around 2055, leading up to the crash in 2120. So it was 65 years that they were on that ship.
And they kind of give that away because, you know, when the ship has crashed, you know, they're talking about it. The people that are in the ship, like, oh yeah, this is a really old, like, yeah, I used to have the trading cars, or they're talking, they're making references that insinuates this ship has been in orbit or lost for a long time. Because I think it's really neat, because if you're into Alien, they're laying enough of that stuff like that you can put it together yourself.
Yeah.
Like I said, that little bit of discourse that those soldiers were having, it tells us, okay, they've been up there a long time. They don't even have this model of ship anymore. It's interesting, but they, again, and even their ship looks like it's got the same cabin where it looks like the Nostromo, which is the cheap, like Christmas lights, which I love. And which I love the script of the original Alien. It's just how simple it is. You know, enters the cabin, lights everywhere like a Christmas tree. It's like, okay, let's do that. So yeah, it even looks like it. So I think we could assume that, you know, maybe the Nostromo was like one of the last models they made of that, but they're very similar. And yeah, they were clearly like Skynet sending Terminators every fucking 6 months to make sure they actually killed John Connor, until one of them does on a fucking beach in Puerto Rico.
In the first 5 minutes of a movie.
Yeah. I mean, so Weyland-Yutani clearly they've got multiple people up there on these secret missions. So it makes me wonder, and I'm pretty sure some of this stuff is probably in Prometheus. I'd have to watch it again. But how long is this shit been on Weyland-Yutani's radar, and how much do they know? But yeah, if you look at Prometheus, it's probably Prometheus. I just need to go back and watch Prometheus. Maybe that's the genesis, them finding it and really getting interest in it. And you know, I don't know where Prometheus is definitely the first movie in the chronologically, but how many years was Prometheus? Because that's probably the answer right now. We'll look it up. How many years does Prometheus take place before Alien Earth? Because I think that is the genesis of it. I mean, it's right here. Alien timeline.
Let's look.
Alien Prometheus is 2089.
2089 to 2093.
Yeah. So basically, okay, yeah. So Weyland-Yutani has been fucking hot on this shit for 130 years, 131 years. Okay, so it's interesting. I'm very interested to know. We know what happened in Prometheus. what was going on with the company from the end of Prometheus in this 130 years. Like,
Yeah.
how much work and money were they pumping in, sending out all these ships to try, what was the intel they got back? Because David and stuff, if you watch Alien Covenant, did you?
I don't think I saw that
Because
one.
Shaw and and David from
Yeah.
Prometheus, they were stranded on a different planet. We were kind of following their whole thing, and David was becoming godlike. He kills Shaw, so we're kind of like separated from what's going on with the company to a degree. But there is another a ship and stuff like that. I got to rewatch those movies. I don't know, but yeah. So my highlights are, like I said, I think the score. I think everything was very cinematic. I think it felt like I was watching a real event, which is good. Didn't seem like a shitty, because back in the day when you were watching a television counterpart or a TV adaptation of a popular movie, the budget showed.
Yeah, this looks
You
like
weren't.
a movie, man.
This is good. But TV's been there for a long time, where they dump so much money in TV now. So, and then my other huge takeaway is the Xenomorph. They're actually really making it live up to its hype that everybody has been talking about. Like, hey, this is the perfect organism. I mean, we know it's a killing machine, but it tears ass in this. So, like, okay, I could see why somebody would want to get their hands on this. Are they trying to use it as a weapon of war? What are they trying to do with it? Like, what are Wayland Yutani's end game designs? They're all like, it's all tech and freighting and all kinds of stuff. But why would they want a perfect organism like this? Is it to sell it to the highest bidder? Is it for world domination? I don't fucking know, but it's interesting. Yeah, like you said, I'm interested into knowing more about these factions and these companies and stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of my takeaway. Boy Genius versus Utani. See where that goes, and then hopefully we'll see some more of these other companies as well. My another takeaway, of course, we talked about it. The look of the Xenomorphs, I thought great. The CGI was there, but it wasn't like terrible, which it was tolerable. I thought it was okay. I thought it
They
was fine.
use it where they need to use it,
Yeah.
like, because back in the old movies, in the first Alien, they can't really show this guy in a rubber suit moving the way they probably want an alien to move. So they leaned into it the right way. They showed it very little, and they show him like crawling out of stuff. They did what they could, and they made it work for him. And then when you have Cameron's aliens, they were like wiring up these fucking big animatronics, and they upped the ante, but still they could only do so much. And then, but really, you probably want those aliens crawling up the fucking walls and by the time you get to Alien 3, they're doing all that weird transposal fucking not green screen, but it looks like shit. When they show it running down the hallway, it looks like Jason and the Argonauts. And it's not, the tech's not there. So I know they want to get there, and I think they're doing it the best they can. Same thing with Romulus. They did a good job in Romulus.
Yeah.
Where it didn't look good is in Covenant, when the aliens are getting on the fucking front of the spacecraft and ramming their heads in the fucking windows.
Oh, yeah.
It just looks a little too I Am Legend. And it's like, okay, but we're getting there. So it looks cool. So what do you get? Where do you think it's going? Where do you it's probably gonna have like what, 10 episodes?
Yeah,
Probably.
I think it's 10 episodes. One thing I didn't like about it, let me just bring this up real quick. I don't like the fact that, I know you brought it up, like the CJ found out who his sister was in the second episode,
really early,
which I was hoping that they kind of like, just like,
you thought it was gonna be more
play along for another couple episodes,
a big reveal moment.
They gotta have some sort of reveal. I mean, but yeah, I thought they kind of rushed that a little bit, but I understand where we were coming from with the kids can't keep secrets, that sort of thing. But other than that,
why was he so quick to believe her?
Because she
quoted Ice Age
or something.
Because she quoted Ice Age.
Is that no? She said something about her thumbs or something. Was that from Ice Age?
Maybe not that part, but when she was talking in the when she was hacking it, when he was trying to get his leave, he was trying to leave the military so he can go to school. When she hacked in the system,
okay,
and they flash back to them watching Ice Age and shit like that and laughing. She said like the Ice Age quote that the sloth, the John Leguizamo character, does. So that was maybe you're right. Maybe there's like some Christmas stuff in there too.
Yeah,
but I still feel like should have been a little bit of fuck off, like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
what are you talking about? My sister's dead, she got buried. I think he was biting into it a little too easy, but who knows?
Well, it was kind of a weird look he gave them when he found out there were synthetics or whatever. Like, is that just like, did they hate synthetics? Is that why or what?
I
I
don't I
mean,
don't know.
that's new tech, so I mean, they're just caught off guard or what?
It's probably just like AI,
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
it's where how people feel about any kind of new tech. And is it going to take my job? Are you going to be a medic? Because he's
Yeah.
so, but maybe he's not really prone to being shocked because I think it's weird he bought it so easy. But
Mm.
they live in the future. Maybe this is not unrealistic, even though because clearly this is new tech. This is tech they haven't unveiled to the earth yet. So, but maybe they've had enough of it to where
They know
it's
where
not,
cyborgs are, I mean, stuff like that.
and they have synthetic. Maybe it's not fucking outside of the realm of possibility to them at this point.
Yeah.
But and what's funny is I think we're going there.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
we're gonna have what do they have like the Neuralink? The
Yeah,
Neuralink is kind
yeah,
of like, and I think the Neuralink is cool. If we can really make that a big thing, if it can make people use body parts again and basically tap, because when you have neural problems and people
yeah,
can't
when
walk
people are
anymore,
paralyzed, yeah.
people are paralyzed or people have cerebral palsy or they have MS. It's all from the brain. It's like the brain is not telling that shit to move anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
So if he's got something in there that can control the wiring to fix that wiring, that's awesome. But
Yeah, live a great life, absolutely.
it gets out of control fast though.
Yeah.
At what
Slippery
point?
slope there.
And this show is obviously going to address all that stuff,
Mm,
just like Blade Runner does and stuff like
mm.
that. Alien never really, because Alien was a monster movie, but at
Yeah,
the heart of it with the company and stuff like that, we're gonna address stuff like just because we can, should we, God and men and playing God and all that stuff. And the big tech stuff it's very topical, but it's gonna happen.
mhm.
I think I don't know. I kind of want to live. It's kind of exciting that we're maybe in our lifetime going to experience, hopefully, some of that stuff. Are we going to, how is having people kind of already have bionic limbs, like high
Yeah.
dollar bionic stuff they can do? Dude, I'm going to live in this fucking Farscape future where I could have a robot arm. I could have jack arms.
I wanna see an metal skeleton, dude, before I
I,
pass.
I'm not against it though. Like by the time, if we can lock in a certain age that isn't totally terrible, like hey, by the time we're 60, we're still shitting and wiping our own asses,
Yeah.
and it could slow down the aging, and I can walk around with like a fucking what's it called, Universal Soldier fucking thing,
Oh, yeah.
and I can have like a robot arm and shit. Because all this stuff I grew up watching, all this cyberpunk shit,
Mhm.
and I used to love it. Those people were like normal. Oh, this guy's got a fucking robot arm. This guy's got a fucking bionic leg. Bring it on, dude. I want to be in that universe. And I don't know. And
I already
would
like the
you?
self-driving cars. I mean, when I'm old, I don't even wanna drive now, but it'd be
I
nice
don't
to just have my
know.
car drive
I
me.
like it in theory, but Waymos scare the shit out of me right now.
I've never been in one.
They have them out here, and
Oh,
I drive past the fucking self-driving fucking Google cars all the time, and we have the self-driving Ubers and Lyfts and stuff like that. And I get as far away from, if I'm on the fucking interstate next to
mhm.
a Waymo or a self-driving car, I'm like, I'm gonna pass this fucking thing. But
Yeah, another 10 years, I'm sure it'll be a lot better.
yeah, but I'm for it though. Bring me to the Jetsons. Let's just take it to the skies. George, I was so envious of George Jetson in the intro where it closes the thing and it's like bathing him in while it's driving him to work and it's brushing his teeth and it's air drying him in the
Yeah.
fucking thing. That's so cool, man.
You sit there
I
on your computer. I mean, you could do anything,
get
dude.
work done while you're on the way to work.
Yeah,
Hey, you could do that on a bus, I guess, but no one wants to ride a shitty, stinky bus,
you can
dude.
make eggs, dude. Just have a hot plate up there. Just make eggs while you're yeah.
Yeah. So I'm here for it, dude. And do you think now this is kind of another level to the Neuralink and bionic limbs and shit like that. But what do you think about what they're doing here? Where they're transferring over sentience to another body, another like and
I
it's like
don't
a
know.
that
That's too much of playing God there, man.
but aren't we gonna like go there to the point where we're gonna have like AI live on as people?
I'm sure, yeah,
Like, it
yeah.
might not be you, like, you might not know you're you, but
Mm.
to your loved ones, they're gonna put, like, an AI Todd in some kind of vessel, and so it could give the impression that they have a fake Todd still there that's responding the way Todd would, giving advice the way Todd would, but it's not Todd.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not really into that.
Yeah. But with that said, I feel like human beings should be living longer than we do.
Yeah,
I feel
absolutely.
like we have the capabilities to live much longer. So
Mhm.
I'm all for any kind of technology that could help prolong life.
Yeah.
You know, e- e- even if it's not, so you have things like that should eradicate cancer.
Hmm.
And AI, if AI can eradicate cancers and stuff like that, and big corporations will allow them to do that, watch, they won't. I mean, the
Not big
problem
pharma.
when you have a few people in charge of all these fucking, because it's just like Grok, it's just like Chat GPT,
Mm,
it's like these fucking small handful of billionaires that are heading up all this shit. That's scary, and it's like what we're seeing here.
yeah.
And do they have our best interests at heart? Are they really gonna, I don't know, but if we could cure those illnesses that at least kill us early, and we set the new baseline at like, okay, well now the new baseline is old age. Unless you get killed in an accident and our Neuralink and fucking cyborg fucking limbs can't save you. Great. Well then now the baseline is we're all living to be 100,
And
right?
the tech companies or the companies themselves will make you join their tactical response units. And yeah, I mean,
We're
some of these
fucking RoboCop, dude.
yeah.
We're Murphy. Yeah, but but okay. So, but like I said, if you could do something that eliminates all the illnesses that typically take you
Yeah.
out from
Mhm.
fucking 55 to 100, then
Yeah.
we would all have this baseline of, okay, what are the what are the old ages that people live to when illness doesn't take them out? Well, then, like I said, it sets a baseline at like 100 or whatever. But even then, I feel like we could slow down the aging process. I
Mm.
feel like there's things we could do if we could figure out how to free, Clark Griswold or us, like the food preservation.
Oh yeah.
I would sign up for that in a heartbeat. If we could somehow get there to where human beings could last 200 years. And I say this like adjust the aging appropriately too, or when you're 100, you're more like 50, right?
Well, yeah. Biblical times they lived a lot longer. I know that.
Yeah, supposedly, right? And then I just feel like if we could somehow double the lifespan, I'm not saying I want to live forever, even though part of me kind of does. Like I want to see it. I want to see what goes on. I want to be that fucking head in a jar, dude, with like fucking robot tentacles walking around. But I would 100% sign up to live 200 years. Absolutely. But the problem is like all your loved ones die.
Yeah.
So
You don't.
everybody would have to be on a equal play. The problem is that technology comes out and it's gonna be the richest of the rich doing it.
Hmm.
So it's like even if you had the opportunity to do it, you'd be leaving everybody else behind. And
Tom Cruise already has that technology. He's just not sharing it with us.
but that sucks though, because it maybe that might exist in our time, just like vacationing to Mars might happen in our time.
Yeah.
But what probably isn't going to happen in our time is where it becomes affordable for everybody.
That's
You
true.
know, I mean, I think eventually we're going to become Total Recall, and you're
Yep.
going to be able to buy affordable airfare to Mars. But when it's launched, it's just right now, it's just Jeff Bezos. It's these people that can barely touch fucking space. And then when we can actually get on Mars and set up shop on Mars, which Elon Musk wants to do, it's gonna be impossible for guys like me and you to be able to actually
I
go
can
there.
only afford the brain implant. I can't afford to go to Mars, but I can
Yeah,
afford to go to Total Recall and get lobotomized.
that's fine. But anyway, yeah. So if you had to rate it out of a 10, give each episode a rating out of 10. We'll kind of do that. Not that I think ratings are kind of stupid, but
Yeah.
it's a nice barometer. When we compare these.
I would. I'd give them both an 8. I think they're both very solid and they're both enjoyable in different ways. Like you said, the second one is more action, but I like the storyline too. So I would throw them both an 8. I thought they were good.
Yeah, I would copy that sentiment. So yeah, man. So it's digging it. We're digging it. We're liking it. Can't wait till next week. And yeah, so if it's already up, maybe Todd can hook. Are you gonna put it up, the new chat? Maybe can you throw that up here after we're done?
Throw what?
The chat for next week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so give us a few minutes and join the chat for next week's episode where we're talking about episode 3. And again, we're gonna do it Tuesday night. So make a habit of it. If you're watching the series, tune into us immediately after, within an hour after, and we'll chat about it. And feel free to chat in the chat live. We'll talk about it and
make a home here.
Or if you're watching this after fact, leave comments and then we'll read them on the next one. If you have any anything you want to address about something we missed or something you have any predictions about with the next week, we'll read them on the next episode. But all right, guys, bye.
Big thanks to our awesome members for keeping Revival House alive, and to all the subscribers hanging out with us. You're the best. If you enjoyed the episode, go ahead and hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. We've got thousands of hours of content and cover a wide variety of horror films, so there's always something new and creepy coming your way. We'll catch you next time for more spooky fun. Now you know what we are. Now you know what you are. You'll never grow old, and you'll never die, but you must feed.